feel like the normal anime thing was for him to say something, and then everybody turns into color, and everyone gets transformed into real people. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is the Lessons, and we're back with another episode of Durarara. Once again, thank you to Master Detective for sponsoring another one of these episodes. We'll eventually get Lessons into enjoying this. It's a good show. I don't know why you wouldn't like it. It feels really up your alley. It's probably because you didn't start from the beginning. But I feel like at some point you're going to be back at baseline.
It just hasn't clicked with me yet. That's the thing.
Don't know why not. Good show. Well, I'll bring up the board first thing, as you can try to remember characters, as I'll go over some notes.
Why is Ryo Takaguchi in picture?
I told you earlier that Concept Board was having a problem. So it's probably I was uploading an image and it just didn't upload until after I had uploaded other images. But that's just what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Alright. Mikado really is developing as a character. Back in episode 1, we saw that he was a shut-in back in his hometown, and he could barely get through the subway without being trapped by his anxiety. And now he's grabbed his second woman by the hand to try and rescue her. Over 10 episodes, he's really started to put himself out there.
Ladies man, even.
Not really.
I'm just joking. The whole, because I've been watching a lot of anime, rom-com anime, so every time the guy holds the hand of the girl, it's like, oh, it's progress, it's a big change, right?
For a romantic comedy, sure.
Yeah.
Joining the Dollars is considered a fad at school, meaning any random student could be a gang member, to the point that Kita made a list of people that he got others to vote on who was most likely to be a Dollars member. Sorry, I forgot this. There's an image I'm supposed to send you here.
Yeah.
Sorry, my folder defaulted to my medical notes. That's not the right image to send you.
Ora. Oh.
Then he turns out to be right, which could either mean he's lying about what he knows or is just lucky. Yeah, that's Google Translate working on an image.
Yeah, because it's also, I would expect that would be Niwata Kenji, not Kenji Niwata. And Nakajima sounds like a last name, but sounds like the name of a company that made fighter planes and that unfortunate events from 1938 to 1945.
I watched that one guy's YouTube shorts where he goes, "Hey, company name, what do you do?"
Yeah.
And it all goes back to World War II.
Yep.
But yeah, if future me remembers, on display should be the list of names that Kita made that people voted on. Let's see. Blue squares were a color gang that Kita seemingly doesn't know about. Again, assuming he isn't lying, that caused an incident and broke up. The only reason I have to think that he might be lying here is due to the implication that he was lying before, plus the mystery backstory that he has with the hospital girl. Hell, whatever that incident was could explain Hospital Girl as well. Remember, there is 2 cores of this, and then 2 seasons of 2 cores. So, if your hope is, I just can ride this wave and possibly get to the end, it's not a good take to take on some of these shows. I've done that before on some of these shows that I've had to do twice over the year. Where the second time I had to be serious about it because I know how bad it is to get 39 episodes into a thing and not understand what's happening.
That's a lot of episodes to not get what's happening.
Well, I think I said this before where I was joking my way through the first half because I had a co-host, and then the co-host wasn't there anymore, and like I don't know what's happening anymore, and it's not a good way, especially when the audience expects you to have watched the whole thing. It's like, well,
Yeah.
that's the reason why I'm starting back over. I gotta know what's going on if I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Ryu says that Dollar members only know each other's handles, but you somehow just recognize them, and most of them would just tell you, making me think that could be another answer to the gray people. If you somehow just recognize them, then what easier way to stand out than to be in full color?
But do the dollars have a particular color that they use?
All of them.
What do you mean, all of them?
All of them. They're a colorless group.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I know. That's the point. That's why it's interesting. Is they have all these other colored gangs, which I've already pointed out, the blue squares being one of them, or used to be one of them, and then you have the dollars, which is no particular color. That, as we already learned, anybody could join.
Okay. I mean, I have nothing else to say. It's just like, okay, I get it. It's
Yeah, that was what my interlude was about before. Yeah,
yeah,
kind of gotta have some weigh in on this.
yeah. I'm still floating here. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, but sure, let's go with it.
Well, how about we cover this? What do you know what's going on? Of what's going on? What do you know of what
Uh,
is going on?
I know a girl gets decapitated because he was stalking someone else, and then the head ended up in the head of the girl that he liked, I think,
You mean on the
and
body?
the body that he liked, and the head happens to be
I mean, you're
the head
wrong
of
about that though, because it's the body of the stalker.
yeah, no, it's the body that's talking about the head. It's someone else. No, because the head belongs to the Dula,
Doulahan.
the Irish Dulahan, which is an Irish creature that came over to Japan to find its head. And he used to ride a horse, but now that it's in modern Japan, it's riding a motorcycle. She has a guy who's trying to help her, and he's in love with her, but she just to focus on doing this thing. And then we have this main character who used to be a shut-in, but now he's coming out of his shell and joining all, and we have these gangs who are competing. Then we have a random guy who works at a restaurant. He's so strong he can punch people out of his clothes. But every time he does that,
You're
he
confusing
breaks
two
it.
different people.
Yeah, I know. I'm just adding things that I
No,
know.
no, no.
That,
I'm trying to help you along the way when I hear something
yeah,
that's incorrect. Because you're confusing Shizu with Simon. Simon works at the restaurant.
yeah. He's a
Simon's
black dude.
also strong. Yeah, well, if that's how you want to define
Uh,
it. You know, he's the one that works at the restaurant. Shizu dresses up as a bartender because that's what his brother gave him a ton of bartending outfits. He's the super strong one. I guess technically they're both super strong. Shizu is the one that does like money collections for like the underworld
yeah,
with Tom.
yeah,
And the guy that you mentioned who was friends with the Doulahan is Shinra over here, whose dad over here, Shinjin, experimented on her way to Japan and might own the company. Conjecture on my part, might own the company that Seiji over here, him and his sister, their uncle used to own, who had
yeah,
the head.
yeah.
Because remember, Nami, his sister, runs the company, and she has the whole backstory episode that you saw
Yeah,
about how he
that
fell in love with the head.
and she's infatuated with her brother, and that's why she sent. That's why she does the operation to put the head on the body of the girl that was stalking him that he killed because he found her stalking him.
Yeah, that's Mika over here,
Mika.
who is friends with Henri, who talks about her missing friend earlier,
Yeah.
who she also described as a stalker, so that's why we know that she's her. who in
And she
Henri
was being harassed by a teacher in the school.
Takashi over here.
I guess yeah, who hasn't been decapitated for some reason, but should
Showed
be.
up last
I guess.
episode.
Huh?
He showed up last episode. He's watching Henri from around the corner.
Yeah, that wasn't creepy enough. Then we have the girls. They have the boyfriend, and they're trying to be like too fly for a white guy scenario thing. You know,
Well, Yoko
they're
has Takeshi, and
Giaru.
I cannot
Or
remember
Giaru.
which one has Hiroshi. Hiroshi was
Yeah,
the earlier one. That's the one that gets punched out of his clothes during an episode you didn't get to see.
yeah,
I'm confused mostly because Yoko shows up last episode to I guess have her boyfriend beat up Mikado. Because in the episode you didn't see where he gets punched out of his clothes, the Hiroshi guy, that's when Mikado goes into an alley to protect Henri from the three girls who are bullying her. And what's his name? Isaiah down here kind of shoves Mikado down the alley to confront them. Hey, you want to protect her? Let's go. And then when he fails to do any good job or anything of that nature, he pulls out a knife, Isaiah. Or I can't remember what he does. He basically says, it's not my hobby to beat up girls. And then he makes up a new hobby of, I like to stomp on girls' phones. He pulls her phone and throws it on the ground and starts jumping up and down on it.
yeah.
So that's what she's trying to get revenge for. So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe Hiroshi's just a friend of the three girls. I thought he was the boyfriend of somebody.
Yeah, and they're Giarus or something, or did they dress that way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's why Isaiah shows up later in that last episode when Yoko's there with Takashi, because he knocks out Takashi and starts jumping on his back, and then makes a reference to Yoko about destroying phones.
and there's the one guy who is playing both Go and chess at the same
That's
time, and
Isaiah.
he's
That's the
supposed.
same guy we were just talking about.
Yeah, and he's the one who wears a mask sometimes.
No.
Is he not the one who's
I don't
wearing the
know who
mask?
you're talking about wearing a mask. Isaiah never wears a mask.
There's a guy who's wearing Oh no, that's the uncle. That's the uncle, right? The Shingen Kishitani.
Well, he is the father of Shinra.
Oh,
I
uh
don't.
huh.
There is an uncle. I might be Name's uncle, or Name and Seji's uncle. That is again conjecture on my part. I don't know if that's true or not. It would be a good link though between those characters and the fact that they have the head.
Anyway, that's all I remember. Oh, and the van that's kidnapping people for Nami to experiment on.
As arranged by Isaiah.
So I am.
That's these three guys over here.
Yeah.
Kanazawa, Morita, and Asanuma. Because they also get into a fight with Celti, which is the dual hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you also have these four here, which are the other van dwellers, which are the friends of Mikado and Kaida. So, like last episode when Saburo jumps into the van after a rock dents it, and he said, they pinged my van.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're also the ones that chase down the kidnappers. I mean, there's Saki. Saki is a hospital girl that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Dennis also works at the sushi restaurant. Shuji is the reporter guy who makes enemies of people asking them questions on the street.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's everything. I mean, Castano is just a guy who sells shit. He's a foreigner, apparently. He was a target of Isaiah and the kidnappers because they like to kidnap foreigners. But he's also a ally of Saburo because he sells him tickets to Ruri's concerts. She's a pop idol or something.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's everything.
I guess.
Well, you can't say I guess. This whole effort was to get you
I'm still guessing.
Well, you can't be guessing because I've told you you've gotten everything right so far, except for the parts I had to correct you on.
Huh?
But I'm getting you into the mindscape of all of that, so when we start watching the episode, you have all of that together. So you'll know what's happening when characters start talking to one another.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Well, I don't know how you just could say everything, like, say 90% correct, and then be confused when we start watching the episode.
Because I find all of that confusing.
But you
It's just
said it.
fragmented memory. I said it, but it doesn't mean anything to me. That's a problem.
I don't know. That's exactly what I work off of. Like,
Yeah,
I know
it
that this
doesn't.
one, you're like puzzle pieces, right? You put 90% of the
Uh,
puzzle together, and you're like, I still don't know what this picture makes. It's like, what? It's a couple. It's a couple in a picture.
no, I don't. Outside of what's her name? That's the name of the. Essentially, all boils down to the Dullahan and people wanting her power. That's it. I think that's the best I can
No, I
get.
don't think so.
Yeah, outside of that,
Maybe
I don't.
Shinra's dad, but that doesn't go anywhere because that's like a 5-minute thing in one episode. It's mostly about Celti trying to get her head back, but her head being its own thing that doesn't want to be reunited and is actively afraid of her. I would say it's more about what the hell Isaiah is up to.
If he isn't up to anything other than being a trickster god of sorts.
Well, I mean, we didn't really mention. Oh God, where is she? Ryu, over here, because there was an entire episode where she finds out that her dad is cheating on her mom, and she talks to a guy online who convinces her to meet him, and it turns out that the guy online is one of the 3 kidnappers, because Isaiah is
Of
actually the
course.
guy who was talking to her, and they kidnap her. She gets saved by Celti, who is actually also sent out by Isaiah to save her, but not to go too far with saving her, apparently, because then she gets dropped off in an alleyway. She goes up the stairs, meets Isaiah on the roof, who he indicates that he's the guy she was talking to, who then says, if you really want to, just jump off the building and kill yourself, and then indicates to a blood splatter stain on the ground, indicating that he's done this with other people. And then she doesn't. She walks off, and she's in school. We see her at school all the time in other episodes where she's just in the background. But Isaiah just indicates it's interesting to see humans do shit like this.
So he's a evil little shit. Okay, I get it.
I don't know. You could look at it in
I mean,
multiple ways. You could maybe he gave her the confidence to live again. I don't know. He didn't
encouraging people to jump off a building and engineering them a trauma so that they would try to escape it by jumping off a building is not the sign of a good guy.
No, I don't think he engineered the trauma to make her try and kill herself. I think he just
Okay,
engineered the trauma to make her put things into perspective. Because her whole thing leading into that episode is that she is making everything about her. Like, she engineers her parents to find out that her dad is cheating on her. And then when she goes to breakfast the next day, she is horrified that the mom isn't confronting the dad about cheating and no one's talking about it. She makes everything about her in this thing. And she says she can't live in this world anymore because of this. And it's like, you're making everything about you and none of this has anything to do with you. And that's
I
when
mean, it's
she
her
reaches
parents.
out. Well, yeah, but so what? Her parents have their own lives. If her dad's
Yeah,
cheating on her mom, that has nothing to do with you. That has something to do with your mom and your dad.
it affects a family life. I mean,
Clearly it doesn't, because they're actively choosing to ignore it, which implies
that
the
doesn't
mom
mean.
already knows about it.
Eh,
Look, it's no for me, being the child in that situation is no different than being a friend. It
I've
only
been in
affects
that
you.
situation.
It only affects you if dad comes out and tells mom, or mom confronts dad about it, because it's their relationship. If they choose just to live this way, not your place. You're the child in this situation. You are related, sure, but it's not your relationship.
It kind of is because it's a family.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sorry. Were you
you're being
dating Dad
direct.
this whole time? No. Dad's sexual relationships, his romantic relationships, those are his. Mom's sexual and romantic relationships are hers. You have a different dynamic as a child. You're in the circle, but the Venn diagram has you outside of this particular circle.
Yeah, but it appears to me that they're acting without any care to what happens to anybody else. Like they don't consider the effect of what they're doing on their children, right? Because this
It literally
is
has no effect. Literally, the life that she would show her having before her finding out and after her finding out is exactly the same.
well, she
Dad
wants to be
isn't
driven
like
to
absent
suicide.
or anything. Yeah, because she makes it all about herself.
Well, why shouldn't? I mean,
Why shouldn't
she?
she? Because why should she? It has
I
nothing to
think
do
she
with her.
should. It has everything to do with their families being.
It's not even being
It's
torn apart. Literally nothing is happening. Dad's having a little fun
they're
on the
living.
side outside
They're
of a
living a
family life.
fucking lie. Why not get divorced already? Okay, you want a divorce? Get a divorce. That's it.
Because it has
Right?
nothing to do with you. If they're living a lie, cool. They've chosen to live in a lie. They're happy.
Being someone who has been in that situation multiple times in my life.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. I can tell you that it never stops with, oh yeah, everybody's happy about this.
Well, it doesn't matter, is
No.
what I'm saying, because they're living their life. Look, I've been in that too, and I'm not going to say that shit out loud because it's not for recording. But
Yeah.
I'm saying that it has nothing to do with the kid.
Now, if they were adults and I was an adult, I could go my own way, no problem. Okay, you do what you want. But when there's a child and like a minor involved, yeah, you got to be a little more considerate.
Look, they are literally doing nothing in the open. She has to go secret detective route to figure this shit out. So, again, nothing's happening in the opening. They're not openly discussing anything. She is not openly discussing anything because she's trying to play this like some sort of mind game. Like I said, she like gave evidence to her mother, like indiscreet, like put it in the mailbox. And next morning at breakfast, mom isn't talking about it, dad's not talking about it. It's a normal day. They're just having their normal conversations like they always do, implying that, oh, she knew the whole time. So it's not your place. The same way as like a work friend came over and started talking about, oh, your husband's cheating on you.
I mean, I'm not related to my horse. My horse friend is not my dad or my mom. I think the
Did you
relationship
say
is
horse friend?
work friend.
That was a horse friend. What?
Doesn't matter if it's a horse friend or a work friend or somebody who is
I think
at
it
work.
is because there is a familial separation between interests. Like their parents' job, responsibility is to raise the kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the kid's responsibility to tell the parents how to have a romance in their life. It's
Let's say I
also not the
disagree.
kid's responsibility to stop them from getting divorced either. Their
I mean,
their ability to live their life as adults is their responsibility. The kid's responsibility is to fucking grow up. The
yeah,
kid has no other responsibility until they
this is the
reach.
kind of behavior that then when you're an old man or woman and you're in whatever you might call it,
Retirement home?
in the retirement home, and you wonder why your daughter doesn't visit you. Yeah, this is the kind of shit that goes down.
Well, conceivably, the closer I get to death, the higher the odds are she'll see me before my end. I mean, we're ranting about actions in an anime, so I'm going to use movie logic, which is to say the closer I get to death, the more likely my daughter is to come visit me one last time. That or something amazing will happen to her and she'll want to come rub it in my face, something like that.
More likely than not.
Also, no plan to ever have kids. Also, I've received so much radiation that I'm pretty much been told that I won't have kids because I didn't save anything. So ahead of time.
Yeah.
So not really concerned. It's prescient on my mind.
I mean, we're talking about in general situation, not.
Well, I don't know how many people actually go to retirement homes. Like what
A
percentage of the
lot.
population?
Quite a bit, actually.
Well, I mean, I would assume a lot more people die before that ever happens.
Well,
Also, what
people
percentage of
used to
people
live
in
long.
retirement homes actually have kids?
My experience, quite a bit of them, especially in the States, but that's just my experience.
Well, I have stated my opinions on the matter, which is children should shut the fuck up and stand in their own lane. I didn't weigh in any of this.
Anyway,
in real life, I mean.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. Still, I think that this guy is not a good guy.
Which guy? I forgot who we were talking about in this case. Oh, Isaiah.
Yeah.
Probably
somebody
not.
Even then, somebody who enjoys someone else, the possibility that they may commit suicide. Oh yeah, that's enjoyable. Like,
I said this before when I was watching Full Metal Alchemist the other day. There is a type of character that are so interesting that you sometimes just let go of the fact that the things that they've done in the past. And that's the kind of character I find him to be. My example on that one is Kimberly. Did you watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Or Full Metal? I guess he's only in Brotherhood, I think.
yeah.
Did you watch that?
No, I haven't watched
Kimberly is
the series.
part of the Ishvalan massacre, basically. He took great joy in killing all the Ishvalan people, and he's responsible for Scar's brother's death. But he's such a fucking interesting character to watch because he is so smart. He's so smart, he's like the detective in the back half, but he's also responsible for like tracking people. He is basically God, I can only remember his nickname, and I don't want to say his nickname from Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, I know you're talking about, yeah.
Christoph Waltz's character. He's a very entertaining character. I mean, I basically watched the movie for his acting. That kind of character. That's what Kimberly is like, which Isaiah is like, which is you kind of just forget in the moment what they've done, because you're just entranced with watching them. Yeah, I'm getting the fact that you and me watch shows differently.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care so much about the stakes, for example.
Oh.
Sorry, every time I say it, it's half of a joke about what you say, and I also remember Trump stakes, such a thing, too. So it's just a double joke in my head, and only half of the joke is playing now.
Anyway, that's where I am at this moment. See what happens in the episode.
All right, let's jump on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
So you're head bopping, but you've already stated you're not a big fan of the song.
It has a nice beat.
I think I've mentioned this before, also in the overlay, what we record on. Isaiah is the guy I decided to put underneath me, so he's the guy I'm representing with. Underneath you, you've got the guy in the bar outfit. So, that guy. Super strong guy. Shizu. I also think it works because they're literally enemies in the show. I also have to appreciate the opening that one introduces you to every character, because this is the character names.
Yeah.
But also does a recap mid-intro. So every episode intro, you know who the characters are and what just happened. Really thought they were about to start doing the line about what happened last episode. There we go. But that was what happened last episode. I forgot to make any note about the Yagari pharmaceutical people showing up where... What's her name? Maki? Was it Maki?
Is that symbol? Oh, that's the symbol for the restaurant. Okay.
Yeah,
Tokyo
Simon works at the restaurant.
Yeah. A red
彼女を
moon.
取
Huh?
り戻しに行かなくちゃ。姉さんなんかじゃダメだ。俺じゃなきゃダメなんだ。
いなかったですって？
はい。下の連中が行った時にはすでに女はいなかったそうです。
その部屋の学生、龍ヶ峰と言っ
I
た
mean, of course, she'd be happy enough if the other girl disappeared, so.
そいつは
戻ってきた時に話を聞き、場合によっては同行してもらおうとしたそうですが、どうも連れがいたらしく。
その連れごと来てもらえばよかったでしょ。使えないわね。
いかがいたしましょう。
I don't know, I don't think you'd want Isaiah to come with him. Or Celty.
もしもし、
矢切奈美恵さんですか？
どちら様ですか？
私は龍ヶ峰帝と言います。取引をしませんか？
We're pulling out that theremin.
Yeah. I think these guys are the dollars, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the best explanation, except for the fact super old guy teacher at the school, KFC, is also in color. But not everybody at school is in color.
そうだね。ポエマーな中学生ならともかく、20歳過ぎたヤクザが言うのは犯罪だろう。そうだね。っていうかサイモンさんよ、俺の話よく分かってねえだろ。そうだね。
Okay.
私は変わってしまった。
They're both super strong.
Yeah, I know, but why he would try to just smack him with a fight?
And they fought before. Or rather, Simon fought to have him stop fighting before.
これからの人生に生かせれば、どんなことだって無駄じゃないさ。
生かす？一体何に生かせと言うんだ？
例えば、僕と結婚すればいい。
Okay.
死んだ。
It's gonna be like a throwdown between Yagari Pharmaceuticals and the dollars.
Yes.
Although, if that was the case, I don't know how Mikado here would have been able to summon the dollars, because he's not, like, even a member.
No, he just entered that thing he did was he entered the dollars and he got approved through the computer.
想像していたよりずっとおとなしそうな子ね。それとも今はこういう子が危ないのかしら。
But yeah, they're really hiding out here, aren't they?
それで
Also, that would imply that the people in suits are members of the dollars, so I think this falls apart again.
No, I think those are the people that he brought.
No, I know
were
that they
wearing
are.
suits.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is if everybody in color is a dollar, then the Yagari Pharmaceutical people would be in the dollars.
じゃあ何がお望み？
真実です。
今なんて言ったのかしら。
あなたの弟が播磨美香さんにやったこと、そしてあなたたちが美香さんの体にやったことを認めてもらいたいんです。残念なことに状況証拠しかないので。
Rule 1 of having circumstantial evidence is never admit that it's circumstantial.
自首してください。
That's where she laughs, huh?
そう、あなたそういう人なのね。許せない。弟の邪魔をするなんて。いけないのよ。弟の邪魔をする人はいたらいけないのよ。
そうか。この人はこういう人か。
ねえ、教えてよ。姉さんはどこ？行かなきゃいけないんだよ。彼女には俺が必要なんだ。
You know, you got the dangerous job, you gotta look
俺が
after the
いなきゃ
brothers.
いけないんだ。ねえ、教えてくれよ。
そんな理由か。そんな理由で人が死んで、その体を使ってあんなことをして。
To be fair,
僕のことまで
she died for a completely different reason. Also, nobody else is in color in the crowd.
そんな理由で人の命を、あなたの自己満足でヤギリ君を不幸にさせるつもりなんですか？
今さら何言ってんの？その年になってこんな世界に足を突っ込んで。
大丈夫だよね。
ありがたいことしか言えないなら、その不快な口を閉じなさい。
確かに綺麗事かもしれません。だからなんだって言うんですか？人を殺した反省をしろっていう、今さら以前のことも理解できないのはそっちじゃないですか？
ドラマの見過ぎよ。お約束な予定調和ばかり。ここは現実なの
Maybe
よ。
it's pre-established harmony?
私の中じゃない。あなたは英雄なんかでも
I
ない。
assume it's
それ
a
ほどを知りなさい。
それの何が悪いって言うんですか？
brain
予定調和も
just shat
お約
itself.
束も
It's,
ご都合主義も
um,
無理やりのハッピーエンドだって大好き
you
です
know, like the
よ。
monomyth. I assume it's some sort of narrative
Yeah.
telling
何
device.
が悪いって言うんですか？人のためだとか世界のためだとかそんなことは言いません。ただ僕が見たいんです。僕が信じたいんです。そうだ、信じる。
And then he gets
僕
killed.
は信じる。
I'm assuming it's a phone with a recording on.
みんなきっと。確かにこんなのありふれた考えかもしれません。でもありふれてるっていうことはそれだけ。
I feel like the normal
みんなが
anime
その
thing
ことを考えてるってことなんですよ。
was for him to say something and then everybody turns into color and, like, you know, everyone gets transformed into real people.
言いたいことはそれだけ？
理屈の通じない相手に挑む力も知恵も僕にはありません。
You wouldn't fare well in
努力
Gurren
する時間さえも
Lagann.
与えてもらえない。だから僕は数に頼る。
They come?
Unless they're already here. You're gonna come marching out of the buildings nearby.
Yeah.
I feel like it's exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
They would say something and everyone would turn into color. As though they'd become real people. I fucking know anime. That's the anime trope of all time. Which implies everybody that was gray could have been anybody at any time.
なんだかまるでミッシングの怪奇現象じゃん。死んでみる。来たー。
マジかよ。
さてと、トグサ、あとは頼んだぞ。
おう。
行くぞ。
Well, seeing the spectrum of people that are apparently part of the dollars, I guess Grandpa probably is part of the dollars.
Yeah. Question is he does he survive this or not?
I guess the benefit of being part of the dollars from, I guess, our main character perspective is that you have the email list of everybody. So he just sent, like, basically everybody in town the email.
Yeah.
So it's not that they're going to do something, it's that they've all heard. So I guess if something happens to him,
Yeah.
一体何人いるんだろう。
いやいやいや、初集会でここまで集まるなんて驚きっすね。
well, of course, that's why they were all looking at their watch. Well, the grandma here is dollars.
The dollars, yeah.
の なあ、その通りだミリア。
Yeah, you were right.
いいか、よく聞け。俺と俺たちも巷で今一番ナウなヤングに超話題の。
何これ、まさかこいつら全員。そう。
He does have a John Wick element about it, right?
Yeah.
You know, what's his name does the whole flash mob thing to show how strong, how much authority he has.
地元の空は高くて広かった。でも何もなかった。
Okay.
子
The
供の頃はこの街も冒険にあふれていた。いつからだろう、こんな風になってしまったのは。何かを変えたかった。でも飛び出す理由も勇気もなかった。そんな時だった。
Windows 7. Okay.
はあ、2階。そこにはいろんな世界
Wow,
が
this
広
is
が
an
ってい
whole
た。
series when it's Yahoo
僕の知ら
Japan.
ない
It was also Amazon YouTube Love Door.
東京に引っ越した木田君とまたやり取りをするようになった。
So he became a shut-in because he got into
新
the
しい知り合
computer.
いもできた。ある時ふと思いついた。最初は単なるネタに過ぎなかった。
チーム？そう。東京にはいろんなチームがあるって聞いたことがあるんです。
Did he create the dollars out of a joke on the computer?
本当に現実にあることにするんです。池袋にあるチームって設定でネット上にその噂を広めて。
自分たちがダラーズのメンバーだとは名乗らない。
Or him and his
いかに
friend
も
made
よ
the
そから聞いたと
dollars?
いうふうに噂話を流し、名前を広める。チームのサイトも作ってみた。
No, nope, you made the dollars. You made the website, you made the
Yeah.
dollars.
パスワードは
Yeah.
メールやいろんな掲示板を使って流した。掲示板にメンバーの書き込みも大量に用意した。もちろん信用しない人も多か
So
った。
this is more about
そのうち擁護する人たちも現れて、みん
influence.
な大喜びだった。
みんな信じてる。
嫌な予感はしていた。
Okay, people started doing things with the name of the dollars, and then 2009.
現実の世界にダラーズを名乗る人たちが現れ始めた。それだけじゃない。知らないうちにメンバーも増殖を続けていた。もうパスワードを流すことはやめていたのに、まるでどこかで誰かが情報を流しているよう
It's
に。
viral once somebody knows the password.
皆さん見てますか？おーい。
怖くなったのか、一緒にダラーズを作ったみんなはいなくなってしまった。
So it got out of control.
いや、やめられなかったんだ。なぜだか自分でもわからない。
Well, it's like I was saying before about the blue squares and Kita not knowing about it but lying, I think.
でもそうでない人もいっぱいいるはずです。僕らでダラーズをいい
Yeah, it got out of control, and people started using the name of the dollars to do whatever, right?
Yeah, there's a whole Eden of the East quality about this.
街のゴミを拾うとか壁の落書きを消すとか。
ということで住民も大変不思議がっております。こちらにあった壁の落書き、昨日の深夜までは確かにあったそうなのですが、このようにきれいに消えてしまいました。大掛かりな落書きだけに一人で消したとはとても思わず、近隣住民も
まさかね。
So it
木田君に誘われて東京
And
に
there's the first episode.
そこで
ダラーズ
Mhm.
俺も詳しいことはわかんねえんだけどよ。とにかく人数が多くて線が一本ぶち切れた。
Wait, didn't you make it with Kita? So why does Kita say he doesn't know about the
どんな
dollars?
色なのかもわからねえ。
興味本位で近づかない方がいい。余計な詮索はよしておくことだな。 でも今この町最強ったらダラーでしょ。
で、ダラーズってさ、どんなチーム？
I guess it does answer how he has the contact information of everybody on the dollar site,
ダラーズ
because nobody else does.
俺ダラーズ
Yeah.
ダラーズに入って彼女ができました。
くだらないことを掲示板に書き込んだり、誰かがなんかレスしてくれるし。
この年になると仕事以外の人間関係
Oh, feel that, man. Feel that.
知ってるか？例の人間狩りにさらわれそうになったやつを
True.
ダラーズが助けたんだってよ。
The cause of and solution to the human traffickers was Isaiah.
別にあの先生いいんじゃない？
Just where he, like, tells everybody he's the leader of the dollars. Oh, so yes, Isaiah's in it. That's why, too.
楽しいよね。
何なのこいつら何なのよ。
That's one way to do it, I guess.
ダラーズの創始者ってどの人だ？
Well, no violence,
ダラー
but
ズの石油っぽい人はいる？
いないっすね。トグサさん、俺たちにレスくれたのって本物の創始者なんすよね。
Or somebody who just hacked the admin.
って話。
yeah.
トグさん、信号赤赤赤。
That was a bit anticlimactic.
だんまりかよ。
ドタチンドタチン。
だからその名前で。
これ、ダラーズの掲示板にレス来た。
I guess he's just taking an active role in leadership now.
手はずは整いました。彼女と合わせます。その代わり、あなたも私に協力してください。
So she's the backup in case things go wrong.
Well, I mean, he's gone from shut-in, which I guess he just became because he created dollars, to one of the most important people in Ikikabaru.
The most important person.
Arguable. I'd still say Isaiah is probably the most important person. Or Shinra's dad, but we don't know if he's actually in charge of anything or not.
セルティ。
Now that she found it, she ran away.
They both kind of got this amnesia thing going. But head Celty is afraid of body Celty.
But this time around, it was body Celty who ran away.
Who? 私には首がない。私は化け物だ。多くを語る口も相手に情熱を伝える瞳も持たない。
何か聞こえる。
何の声だ？
だがそれがどうした？それがどうしたというのだ。私はここにいる。確かにここに存在する。
Well, I mean, we need somebody to do the combat. I don't think it's going to be Grandma.
目がないというのなら、我が行場のすべてを刮目してみるがいい。化け物の怒りに触れた者の叫びを存分に耳にするといい。
So I guess technically that means every supernatural person in Ikikabaru is part of the dollars too. Except for maybe the slasher.
ビルしないで。私はここにいる。ここにいるのだ。私はすでに叫んでいる。叫んでいるぞ。私は今ここに生まれた。私の存在を
Yeah, so she's just redefined herself.
刻みつけるために。
お前が竜神ね帝か。セルティオ、セルティオ返せ。
I mean, he is a murderer.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could argue self-defense. Not in this
Well, did
case,
she-
but I mean the original, the stalker
Did
one.
she mean to kill him or simply stalk him? I think he
I don't
meant
know.
to kill him.
Does Japan have? Well, Japan probably doesn't have.
Self-defense.
Well, no. What's it called? Sorry, there's the one where you have to retreat if you're able to, but the other
That's the
one.
duty of retreat.
What's the other one though? I'm trying to remember the other one.
A castle doctrine?
Yeah. Where you could like shoot somebody on your fucking front lawn, apparently, and get away with
Yeah.
it. Because it has been proven.
It's different states.
I mean, it's been in the news. Literally,
doctrine.
someone shoots someone on
Yeah.
their lawn, like the castle
Yeah.
doctrine, and they get away. Anyway, I don't know. I know Japan has that because she was literally in his house. Also, they're the only two people present, so I guess he could make his own story. No, I'm saying that Isaiah might be one of the most powerful people in the city. One, everyone comes to him.
Yeah.
Also, he's protected Mikado, a number of times himself, so he's got that on his side for if he like has to make some sort of deal with him. But
Yeah.
as we've stated before, when he's playing checkers, chess, and Go, he's manipulating and controlling the board. From that perspective, he doesn't need to be the one in charge. He needs to be the one manipulating those in charge.
私はこの町で一つの真実を発見した。あまりにもあっけなく、あまりにもありふれたものを探し当てた。多分あの少年もまた。次回、創世。
I mean, a lot happened.
Yeah. But again, in many ways, I feel that we're back to square one because, okay.
Technically, we did go to the first episode in this episode, so we did reach square one.
Because, okay, so he's the one behind the dollars. Okay. He forced her to confess in a way.
Who?
Kinda. What's her name? Nami Yagiri. Because he confronted her in front of everybody, and everybody was aware.
Well, I think no one was aware. He just, recorded the message and then sent his own message about if, and whoever's not looking at their phone is an enemy.
Yeah.
So he just organized a meeting where he could then meet her. So, I don't think anyone's aware. He kind of flash mobbed her, and the flash mob had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. I'd say the word I would keep using is interesting. I'm at that level. I'm not really hyper excited. I'm not like, this sucks, but then I'm like, I'm a little bit hooked. I want to see what happens next, but not someone like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, because I don't have enough to make that determination. So I'm right about here.
Which is the bottom of your camera window. You couldn't get lower.
About here. Lower would be here. You wouldn't see it. Higher.
Well, no, my only perspective is literally your camera window, so.
So it's about midway. I'm like right here.
That's a little lower than half.
I'm not gonna wait. I mean, I do have measuring tape, but I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, you could just use something that I have a perspective on. Well, your whole head's in the window, so you could say this much. I'm this much into it.
Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say here.
Not really, because you're using a weird increment system. Your increment system goes from don't give a shit to interesting. I figure there's
Yeah.
more steps in between that. Like, looks cool but boring. Look, looks boring but cool art style. Interesting. There's more steps between dog shit and interesting.
True, but I'm right now. I'm in interesting.
Okay. I mean, I don't know
And
how to
more I can
sell you
say
on
about
what
it.
looks like a cool anime. I guess other than the fact we're gonna keep watching it once a
I mean, I
month.
will keep watching it. I'm not hating on it. It's just that there is something missing here, and I don't know what it is. No, I know what it is. There is no character that I care enough about to be interested. There's a lot of characters. Each one of them is a little bit a piece of something bigger. But I don't care about any one character. Like, oh yeah, I want to know what happens to this guy. It's like, he's doing that. Okay. That happened to that person. Okay. The other people showed up. Okay. But I'm not invested in any one character to say, like, yeah, okay, this is the character. I want to find out what happens to them. Do they live? Do they die? Do they run away? Do they succeed? Do they fail?
You don't like super
It
strong
goes on.
bartender who gets stabbed by a dozen pens?
It's just a quirky thing that happens. This is anime. Stuff like that happens all the time.
Oh, now look who's jaded now. I don't think you
Yeah.
appreciate the stakes in here. Guy got stabbed by 17 pens while trying to protect a girl from, I guess, technically his lover / murderer. While his headless friend goes to try and investigate the head that she's missing, which has double amnesia, technically, on the body of the woman that got murdered by the other guy.
All those things are there, but since I don't care about any one person in particular,
Well, I think the
I
problem
said,
is you're
wow.
not focusing on any one person. You're looking at the
Right.
narrative without looking at the people behind the narrative.
Because none of them have a strong enough hook for me anyway. To go like, yes, this is the person that I want to at least put my focus on, and then center everything around that person. Or persons could have more than one person. That's usually how it works in narrative. You find a person, doesn't have to be a protagonist necessarily. It's like, okay, I care about this person. Cool. What happens? And then based on that one person, I have relationships to other people. But since this is just I'm seeing like the web, but I'm not seeing the points of connection, like the strings are just like, it's like walking into a web. Like, I feel it. Okay, but it's like there's nothing there for me so far.
You understand how that's bullshit to me, right?
That's how I see it.
You walked into a web and you don't see the points of connection. Spent 20 minutes going over a board, which is literally all the points of connection, and then we discussed every point of connection that we possibly could.
And I don't care about any one of them. That's the thing. I don't care about.
Well,
any
no, I'm
one
saying
of
you
them.
said you literally did not see any points of connection. That's what the board is for. We literally talked about it.
It would make sense if I had a central figure that I could, say, okay, this is the person.
Makito is the central figure. Every episode we watched together has been centered around him. He's the first character you see. Yes, it is.
Because he comes in the last episode, he comes in at the very end. It's like, oh yeah, no, but I don't care about him. That's the thing. I don't know.
You
I
asked
don't
for a
care
central
about him.
figure, and now it's I don't care about the central figure.
It has to be both of those things. The person becomes a central figure because I care about them as a central figure.
Well, I also don't know why you don't care about anybody else. Every individual character in this, well, I would say 85% of the characters in this show have their own very unique storylines. So unfortunately, there are some groups of characters that don't have a unique storyline, but those are groups, like the Van group. Together, they have a very interesting storyline, but that's mixed up of other mixed. Otherwise, we have a bunch of individual characters with very unique storylines.
All I see are fragments, basically. I don't see anything that really is concrete or, like, okay, this is the chunk that I can focus on. Yeah, no. so far. That's why I find it interesting, because all of them have bits and pieces like, oh yeah, this woman that's looking for her. Okay, that's interesting. And the guy who seems to be somebody who's a psychopath who likes to live vicariously through other people, manipulating. Okay, that's interesting. And there's this guy who was a shutting that founded, a viral group and got out of control. Okay, that's interesting. There's a lot of things that are like.
I feel like that's just an
Another-
element of the show, though. So I guess you just don't have a lot of buy-in on the show because that's how the show has been presented. That okay, we're gonna stick a little bit with this character. We're gonna learn a bit about them. Then we're gonna shift our focus a little bit on this other character, and it's a building world narrative that you're learning a little bit about each person. It's not like Basara from Across Seven, right, where he just doesn't say anything. It's just that we're being introduced to every little thing, and every little bit adds to the solves a bit of the mystery or introduces new mystery as you find out. Okay, now I know a little bit more about this character, which solved a little bit of a mystery I had before, but also introduces the fact that his own backstory has some mysteries in it that I have to solve. So every new character is its own puzzle piece. And every time we get introduced to a puzzle piece, we have to find out, oh, this edge fits with this one, but I don't have a matching piece with this other edge yet.
Maybe it's too complex for my mind. It's like maybe unnecessary. For me, seems to be unnecessarily complex. Perhaps.
Like I said, I just think you don't have the buy-in at the moment for it. Hopefully. I
True.
guess as it becomes more of a solid, you will, because I don't want to lose you on this, but I think this is like Memento. And that it's telling a story in a very specific way that it wants to tell it. And that the narrative is there, but it's there for you to figure it out.
Yeah, but in Memento, you started with the guy who said the first thing is the guy looking himself in the mirror. And like,
Someone where he
and then you-
tattoos his memories onto his body
Yeah.
because he's trying to solve a murder
yeah,
that's technically already been solved. But, he has the memory problem, so he's kind of trying to figure it out every day.
but since you care about it, Price is his last name, I think the actor's character. So you're like, oh, this guy is interesting, and I want to know what happens to him.
I would say it's like Memento if the character didn't exist, but all of the tattoos were a character.
Yeah. See, the missing pieces would be the character wearing the tattoos.
Well, the story that you're trying to figure out would be the the person, but the way you're figuring it out, who this person is, the mystery that you're trying to solve, is by the tattoos, and the tattoos are living beings in this story. So each one of them is carrying something that connects them to somebody else, but they're their own thing as well.
Yeah, no, I find it's too fragmented to, and it's like, oh, you're going this way. No, they go that way. Go to this way. Like, just stay in lane for a little while.
That's how I described that girl from the beginning, that we had an argument about their family.
Yes.
I said she needs to stay in her lane. I think you have the same view on narrative.
Again, not on family relationships, apparently.
Yeah, I guess not.
Or what parents should or should not do or not do in and around their children.
We never discussed in or around their children. As I said, to that girl's family relationship, the stuff her dad does or stuff her mother does, that never happens around her. She goes out of her way to try and find this stuff out. Which, again, stay in her lane. You don't give up being a person just because you become an adult or a parent.
But you do have responsibility to others.
She literally does not want for anything. She goes to school. She has full-on wardrobes. She has a room that looks really nice.
Yeah, but there's a little more to it than that.
They don't expose her to their personal lives.
Yeah, that's rather cool, actually.
We live different lives, you and me. We argue about different things. Look,
Yeah, that's
I
true,
can't
yeah.
believe this is your view on children after what happened.
Don't go there. But God, do not go there. Let's leave that story out of this. Because this is just gonna get worse.
Yeah, you know what's
Much
better for me
worse.
is the fact that I am. I'm just gonna stop there, and then people are gonna wonder. The once a month watchers who only watch this reaction be like, "What the fuck did Lessons do with a bunch of kids?" Leaving it without distilling the story makes it so much better.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah, it's a thing that Theta is working on, a whole meta narrative.
Oh no,
You know.
you're going to explain it.
No, I'm just saying what it is.
I mean, don't leave the detective out of it.
No. There's some mysteries. Don't need to explore it.
Yeah. Again, you went the whole wrong route on this. The whole mysteries don't need to be explored. Lessons that shouldn't be learned should have been your thing. I mean, you go so many different ways with that. I mean, branding alone, right? On your whole lessons learned channel on Twitch. Plugging you, by the way.
Thank you.
So you could do that with like a horror theme. There's some lessons you shouldn't be learned, you know? You got your whole October laid out. You know? Yeah. I don't know. Just pull out the dry erase board. Time to take you to school. So many things you can do with the name. You gotta always work that in, not mysteries to be solved. Your name isn't Mystery Solved. Well, that would be a cool name for a Twitch channel, I guess.
Yeah. As opposed to Unknown Mysteries, which... Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, no, it was Unknown Histories.
Yeah, Unknown History, because Unsolved Mysteries will be just mysteries.
Well, no, because you can have a solved mystery.
It would no longer be a mystery.
Yeah,
that was the whole point I was trying to make it.
No, it's a temporal...
mysterious.
It's a temporal description of the nature of facts.
Of a mystery.
Well, no, because you can't temporally call it a mystery, because you're describing it temporally via what the fuck is that? Via the nature of it. It's a fact that it was solved or unsolved, right? So it was only a mystery when it was unsolved. But it was once a mystery, which is the temporal nature, before it was a whatever a mystery is once you solve it.
No longer a mystery.
Is it a fact once you solve it, or is it just knowledge?
That you know. Knowledge,
yeah. It's like, what's the... Mystery. I think that's
the thing about Unknown Mysteries is that once it's a mystery, when it was a mystery, it was literally unknown. That's what the mysterious part was. Once you know about it, it stops being a mystery.
What's the antonym for mystery?
Knowledge?
That's what I'm saying. I think the lack of a word for whatever a mystery becomes is the problem. That's why we went with Unsolved Mysteries, because this is also just like the scope of common language, right? If you and me can't figure out what a mystery is after it's solved, then 90% of the public watching television aren't going to know what unsolved post-mysteries are, whatever they are. Post-mysteries is just the name of a show that we're like, mail fraud.
Yeah. Unmail his mysteries, yeah.
Anyway, I guess we're done here. So,
yes.
Once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?